Hi and welcome to Love Doing Yoga. Thank you so much for joining us for this short 20-minute kind of sample practice so you can see what we're all about. We do a live yoga practice every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 6 o'clock in our Facebook group for our patrons. And we also then have an app where we send out the practice each night so that you can do it at a time that suits you if the 6 o'clock time doesn't suit. So this is really just to show you what our practices are about. We started it way back in March, remember that time when all of the situation we're in now came upon us, and we've been doing it ever since. And it's just a way to keep practicing your yoga and helping keep your mind in a good place and your body nice and mobile. So throughout the practice today, just listen to your body. Do whatever feels right for you. I'll give you modifications and different ways of doing things, but go with your own body, listen to your own body. There's a big spider crawling towards me. That's the beauty of live yoga classes. They're all coming in for the winter, obviously. Let us begin by coming on to a child's pose. So just allow your hips to come back towards your heels. So if you've got difficulty with this, so maybe your legs don't come down on the ground, I think Alan's going to come and rescue this spider because I don't want to kill him, but I don't want him on the mat with me either. Oh, here he comes.
This is the first time I've
Thank you. Okay, put him out in the garden. Thank you very much. Now I can concentrate on the class. So we're going to come back into a child's pose. As I say, if your shins won't come down on the ground, that's fine. Maybe come up onto your toes. So again, listen to your body. Allow the hips to move back. Open the knees out nice and wide and put one fist on top of the other. And just let your forehead rest here. And allow yourself to come into the moment here. So set aside everything that's going on in your life for the next 15 or 20 minutes. This is just about you connecting your mind with your body through your breath. You have no roles, no responsibilities, nothing to do, but spend this time nurturing. And just let your attention now move to your breath. Breathing in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose. Allowing the belly to fill on the inhale and to release on the exhale. And taking 3 more breaths like this, listening to the sound of your own breathing. And then just starting to come up onto all fours. So checking down here, you want to have your shoulder over your wrist, little micro bend in the elbows. And let me just move that block. Have your hips over your knees. And your legs are about hip distance apart. So that's a little bit more than a fist apart. As you look through, you don't want to be able to see your feet because you want your legs straight back behind you. We're going to do a couple of cat-cows here. So just let your pelvis tilt up, your belly drop down, opening up your chest. And with your nose, start to draw a little arc with your nose so you're looking forward and your chest becomes open. And then start to curl from your tailbone, curling all the way through your spine, right the way up to the crown of your head. And again, coming into your cow pose, tilting the pelvis, dropping the belly, open the chest, raising the gaze. And into your cat, curling through the tailbone, all the way to the crown of the head. And one more time, coming into your cow and rounding through to your cat. And then coming back to stillness, keeping that gaze on the mat in front of you. We're going to just move into a downward dog. So curling those toes, push your hips back towards your heels and lifting the knees up off the mat. Slowly begin to make your way up. Now listen to your body here. Keep the knees bent, keep the heels up off the floor, and just pedal your way into the pose. We want to try and keep the shoulders open, nice and broad, because they might want to run up around your ears like this, so try to keep them away from your ears if you can. And then let your gaze go towards your belly button. And wherever you are in this pose, find a little stillness. And that's fine if that stillness is with your knees bent, your heels up, that's absolutely fine. But what we really want here is a nice long spine. So you're pushing back through your hips towards the back of the mat. Let's take 3 breaths here. Having a little micro bend in the elbows. Good, and just walking your feet up to meet your hands. Bend your knees and come all the way up to standing. Standing up at the top of the mat, just check down with your feet. Have a look at them. Are they in a straight line? Have you got equal weight across both feet? Standing up nice and tall with your shoulders over your hips, ears over your shoulders. And with your hands, just turn the palms towards the front of the mat. And let's again just focus on the breath here. So as you inhale, just feel your spine begin to open and lengthen. And as you exhale, relax into that extra space you've created. One more breath here. And then let's raise those arms up, bring them out to the side. We're going to sweep down into a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to come into the forward fold. If you're able to get to a forward fold with your legs straight, always have a little micro bend in the knees. We don't want to lock the knees. Keep a little micro bend there. And bend the knees, come all the way up again. And once again, let's sweep down into a forward fold. And bend the knees, coming up to stand. With your hands on your hips, we're just going to step long ways on the mat and have your toes pointing kind of to the 2 corners of the mat. So they're pointing slightly outward. And let's begin to bend the knees and start to sink down into a little squat. So just go to where feels right for you here. And then leading with the chest, just allow your chest to bend forward. We want a nice long spine here. So let me show you a side view. You want the spine nice and flat. Okay, so we don't want to be getting round in it. We want it nice and straight. So you can either stay here, or if you'd like a little bit more, you can take the hands out and just bring them out to the side. It's sometimes nice to just touch your thumb off your index and third finger and start to bring the arms back a little bit so your chest is open. And you can stay here, or if you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, you can come up onto your toes. And we're going to hold this pose for 3 breaths. As you're breathing, just relax into the pose. And if you're on your toes, let your heels come to the floor. Bring your hands onto your thighs, raising up the body. Start to straighten the legs and come up tall. Good. With the hands on the hips, let's just turn that right foot to the top of the mat. And this left foot, we're going to turn inwards. So again, it's almost pointing towards the top corner of the mat. Our heels are in a nice straight line, so our hips are open. And bend that front knee, that right knee. So as you bend the knee, we want to just check down, make sure the knee is over the ankle. And from here, raising the arms up like we've got a beach ball in our arms. And we're going to now start to keep holding the beach ball and just take a nice sideways bend towards the right. So your chest is nice and open here. Good. Allow the attention to move to the breath. One more breath here. And coming up straight. Bringing the hands onto the hips. Let's just turn to the other end of the mat. So again, your left foot now is up towards the back of the mat. Your right foot is just turned slightly inwards and the heels in a straight line with each other. Bending that left knee, keeping it over the ankle. Hips nice and open, raising those arms up, holding on to your beach ball as we begin to take a nice sideways bend for an extended side angle pose. Again, allowing that attention to move to the breath. And slowly coming up straight again, bringing the hands onto the hips. Straighten out the legs. Let's heel toe them together and make our way to the top of the mat. Again, bringing your arms up. Let's sweep them out, coming down into our forward fold, bending the knees. This time we're going to come all the way down onto all fours once again. Opening out those fingers nice and wide. And taking your right knee, bring it up to your right wrist. Walking the foot across in front of your left leg. And let that left leg walk back for a pigeon pose. And from here, you might want to come down onto your forearms or indeed all the way down to your forehead. And this is a great pose if you've got any issues with your lower back. You might find that this gives you quite a lot of relief. Again, listening to your breath. Taking 2 more breaths here. Allowing the pose to do the work for you. And then making your way up again to all fours. Let's take that left knee up to the left wrist, walking that foot across to the right and walking that right leg back as you once again make your way down onto your forearms and all the way to your forehead.
Taking 2 more breaths. If you feel any tightness or tension here, just breathe into that area. And once again, making your way up, bringing your leg back, and this time we're going to come all the way down onto our belly with our forearms, our elbows under our shoulders for a nice Sphinx pose, just gentle back bend. We want to have the gaze forward, the chest is nice and open. Taking 2 more breaths here. Allowing yourself to lie all the way down, letting your arms come out in front, forehead on the floor. So you're getting a nice long stretch. Staying connected with your breath as you breathe in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose. And then slowly bringing those arms back, we're just going to move it over to lie on our backs. So coming down, keeping those knees bent, and just checking in with your feet that they're nice and straight on the mat. And your legs are again hip distance apart. And we're going to roll up into a bridge. So just very slowly starting to lift those hips up. And you might want to walk down with your shoulder blades a little bit, keeping those hips pointing up towards the ceiling. And then let's just lift our arms up and over behind our head and bring them back down. And once again, inhaling or raising the arms over the head and exhaling as they come down. One more time, lifting it up and letting those arms come down and slowly lowering yourself down onto the mat. And then hugging those knees into the chest. And you can move around here in whatever way feels right. So listen to your body. You might like to just gently move back and forth or side to side or go in a circle. But just allow yourself to massage your back out. And then coming to stillness, let the feet come to the mat. And allow your knees to fall over to one side, opening the arms out, turning your gaze to the right. And bringing the knees back through center, allowing them to come over to the other side, turning your gaze in the opposite direction. Back to the center, bringing those arms down by your side. Just allow the palms to face upwards and the legs to open out for our final resting pose of Shavasana. This is really one of the most important poses. It just gives your body time to absorb all of that movement it's done, and it gives you a time to just totally let go. So let go your feet and your legs, and let go your arms and your hands, and let go the whole of the front of your body and the whole of the back of your body. Let go your forehead, eyebrows, eyes, cheeks, jaw, chin, lips, tongue. Just let it all go. And allow your attention to move to your breath as you breathe in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose. And then just bringing yourself back into the space, just slowly start to bring some movement into your fingers and toes. Have a little stretch if you need to. And bending the knees, bringing the feet up, just rolling over onto your side and coming up to sit. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that little short sample. And if you have any questions at all about our service, please do ask. You can put a comment into the comment box and we'll get back to you, or you'll find out all of the details on lovedoingyoga.com. We would love you to consider becoming a patron. It's just €5 a month, so it's really good value for 12 live classes per month, and of course you can access those classes anytime on our app. So I will bid you namaste now, and I hope you have a lovely Sunday. Namaste.